ladyidiy, animism, never settle. All about mops, ladyidiy chores.
It is very important to get rid of excess water before taking mop to floor. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? This sponge mop does. A little cleaning humor for you there. Sponge mops have been around for quite a while and are particularly a good choice for cleaning linoleum floors and for cleaning walls. That's one of my favorites. This sponge can scrub well, but it does streak because it doesn't always wring out entirely, and they can also be difficult to wring out. They're also difficult to keep clean, but they are especially great for cleaning walls because the sponge can reach high and really scrub away at any stains or buildup. Next up to plate, we have one of my personal favorites, a microfiber mop. And as you can see, this looks a lot like the yacht mop, but instead of cotton fibers, it uses the awesome cleaning power of microfiber. Microfiber mops are a great choice if you're looking for an all-around, all-purpose mop. It's hybrid in the sense that it has the ability to do the heavy-duty mopping like a yacht mop would, but the microfiber strands are delicate enough and thin enough that a hardwood floor, a stone floor, or a tile floor can tolerate it. Plus, they're super absorbent and they don't leave streaks behind. They need to be wrung out well in order not to leave any streaks, so having a great wringer bucket is absolutely crucial. When people ask me for an all-around, multi-purpose mop for tile, stone, and hardwood, this is the one that I suggest. This is a flathead mop, and this particular mop also features a reservoir which can hold a cleaning solution which can be sprayed directly onto the floor in front of it via this little nozzle right here. This mop is a good choice if you have floors that are hardwood or laminate. Since these floors can't take too much moisture, these mops are designed to spray out just a little bit of cleaning solution and then quickly wipe it up with the mopping pad. The benefit is that there is little to no streaking and the floors get quite shiny. I also like these for marble or granite floors because they use just a bit of moisture and allow for a nice polish from the microfiber pad. Just make sure you're using the correct cleaner, and guys, we have lots of videos on that topic. It's ideal to have a couple of spare pads so that you can replace them if one gets too wet, which of course will lead to streaking. Remember to launder the pads after each use. Finally, let's talk about dry mops or dust mops like the Swiffer Sweeper. These have become very popular in recent years because these mops are great for maintaining the flooring in smaller spaces, or if you have a small amount of hard floors in your home and you don't want to schlep out a whole mopping situation every time you want to give it the old once over, or if you just need it for a simple, quick midweek cleanup. Personally, I like to use this mop for touch-up cleans in between cleanings to maintain floors, especially with all the cat hair we have going on. It picks up dust and hair and is more so considered a replacement for a broom than a direct replacement for a traditional mop. They do not remove heavy soil and they may leave some debris behind. They also don't clean or shine the floor. Generally, you use these dry unless you use the wet version. Even still, these are only for light-duty cleanings. You're welcome to purchase refills if you like. I just use a microfiber cloth, and if I want a little bit of moisture, I spritz some soapy water on it and get going. These are also great for dusting walls and getting into high corners. Who would have thought? Alright, so now that we know what each mop is for, let's talk about a few best practices to get the most out of your time spent on mopping. First up, you always want to mop in my famous S pattern, regardless of the type of mop you're using, because this allows you to focus on one specific area at a time without flicking water and debris everywhere. Be sure to sweep or vacuum your floor and get as much debris off the floor as possible, because if you don't, you're just going to push it all around the room with the mop otherwise, and that's more work for you. If you're using a mop which requires a bucket of soapy water, I recommend using very warm, borderline hot water and just a few drops of dish liquid, and if you're feeling super fine, you can throw in a couple drops of your favorite essential oil. That's really all you need for almost any flooring surfaces. But if you're using a specialty floor cleaner, do be sure to read the instructions before setting up your mop bucket. Use as little water as possible. This isn't about slopping a huge puddle of water across the floor. That's actually quite damaging, especially to hardwood and laminate floors, not to mention it is more work for you to have to mop up. You always want to be using a lightly damp mop head. So remember this when you're wringing out your mop, and give her an extra turn just for me. When mopping hardwood, always work in the direction of the grain. This helps reduce the appearance of streaking. Like we talked about in last week's vacuuming video, you always want to start the job at the opposite corner of your exit point. You want to mop your way out of a room, not mop yourself into a corner. And always keep your bucket behind you. Use
Beauty, click ladyidiy.com to enter. Now.